Hey, what's going on, G-Ballers? We're going to be taking a look at several knives today that would be worth keeping your eye on if you're looking for a new EDC or looking to add something to your collection. If this is your first time stopping by, welcome to G-Ball Vision. Drop a comment below and let me know what your EDC is for today. I'm going to kick the video off with the SRM Rubiks here. Now, I'll have links to all these knives in the description, and discount codes will be down there as well. This is going to come in right at $60. We do have discount codes for SRM's website. Now, we're looking at 8.1 inches overall with a 3.4 inch blade. So this is a great size. We're looking at 14C 28N steel. They do a great job with their 14C. We have a nice sharpening choil, so we'll get a good deal of edge out of this knife. We are looking at aluminum handles here. They do have micarta and G10 variations as well. Then we have a deep carry clip, and that is left-hand friendly. There's a lanyard hole. They really hit on all the places that you would want a knife company to hit on. And the action around the pivot is phenomenal. It's nice and smooth. The crossbar lock is done very well. Good spring strength in there. No complaints whatsoever in terms of the action. And then we do have the integral steel liner here, meaning this is one solid piece. It's going to make that handle much stronger than a two-piece system. And it's also going to be very comfortable because that's going to act like a full-length backspacer would. And that is completely closed off. And that keeps debris from getting in there as well. So having that full-length backspacer or that integral frame is a huge deal, in my opinion. SRM continues to knock it out of the park. Next up, we're taking a look at the OffGrid Knives Badger. Now, these are going to come in right around the $68 price point, and that is a phenomenal price tag for this knife. We're going to be looking at an OEM of Taiwan, so it is a completely different set of roles that this knife is following. So 14C 28N from Taiwan, it's going to be very good stuff. Think of Cold Steel, Spyderco, Demco. A lot of those knives are made in, or most of those knives are made in Taiwan. OffGrid is going to be the same way. Beautiful, straight, drop clip point style blade here. It does have a nice big belly and will allow you to really get up on the belly and have clearance with your hand. You still have a nice pokey tip. It is robust. It is a flipper only, and the flipper is done well. Good detent, good design on the flipper. Textured G10 handles, and the best deep carry clip in the game, in my opinion, is OffGrid's standard deep carry clip, and it is also a tri-Torx there, so these clips are not going anywhere, and on top of that, it is recessed into the scale. So this is one of my favorite budget knives of the entire year, and it will make it to the end of the year as such. At $68, there's not anything I think of that can beat this in terms of the quality of production and the materials. Next up, we have the Wixo knives Vortex, and these really made a splash earlier in 2025, and these are back in stock. I believe they have a full stock of all the different variations. These are going to range between $67 and $97, but there are discount codes out there on Amazon and the Wixo website. Like I said, I'll have all that stuff down below in the description. We're going to be looking at a black washed 14C 28N. Beautiful hawksbill style blade, and I've carried and used this knife extensively. It cuts very well, especially when we're talking about utility style cuts. We are looking at a cutout and dual thumb studs for the deployment. Really, really good action on this knife. It is a standard liner lock, good detent, good access to the liner. This is the Sky Shredded Blue carbon fiber handles, and like I said, they do have a couple different handle options. They're all going to be in 14C though, which is good for now. That means we're going to hopefully be getting a good heat treat on all the various designs. And then we do have a deep carry clip, and in this case it is going to be left hand friendly. It's not a huge knife by any means, about 3.1 inches of blade here, so it's a decent size, but this is more of a mid-sized knife, no question. It does have a nice thin blade stock, and like I said, it cuts very well. Great job from Wixo and Fenreer. Another knife coming in that I believe has really been looked over, that is the AM8 Knives Calista here. This knife comes in under $50. It's like 46, 47 bucks, something like that. And this is a tremendous value, my family out there, ladies and gentlemen. This is a fantastic knife at a crazy good price. We are looking at 3¼ inches of 14C 28N blade steel, beautiful saber grind, drop point blade, flat into a chamfer, just an awesome looking blade shape. Then we do have dual thumb studs and a front flipper combo, and the detent is tuned beautifully. Very, very good. And the front flipper design, I wouldn't say it's perfect, but it is done very well. The height is great. The jimping could be a little finer, is about the only thing I could really nitpick, but considering this knife is under $50, not going to really bring that into the equation. We do have a liner lock here with good access and a chamfer, makes it comfortable, easy to get to, easy to disengage. I've carried this knife extensively, and I wish it was a little bit bigger than it is, but man, is it a good knife. We do have different color G10 options out there. Very simple on the hardware, aesthetic, very clean looking. And then to top this knife off, considering and keeping in perspective, it's under 50 bucks. We're going to be getting a really nice milled titanium pocket clip here. So that is a tremendous value. The layout of this knife is great for a real user. Going to be comfortable for all kinds of different sized hands. That drop point is going to allow you to use that tip and belly very nicely. Just a big fan of the Calista. I'd love to see an XL version. Next up, we have the QSP Cali here. Now, these are going to come in right around the $78 price point. Not going to get a huge benefit in terms of the price with QSP. They're going to hold pretty firm on their price points, but you're going to get an extremely solid knife and very good customer service if it's even needed. 78 bucks, we're going to be looking at 14C 28N steel, about 3¼ inches. Straight clip point blade. It's got this cool swedge here and this dual grind going on, going up into, or that double grind. We are looking at dual thumb studs for the deployment. This is a standard button plunge lock, but it is done very well. The opening action and how satisfying it is, at least in my opinion, it's really good. It almost feels, it's one of them instances where it almost feels like a really good detent, and the lockup is done well. We have a nice size stop pin in there. Very good in my opinion. If you like a button lock or a plunge lock, we have a full finger choil here and 3¼ inches of blade. That is going to be plenty to get the job done. Then we have textured aluminum handles over top of steel liners, a deep carry clip, and that is recessed into the scales, and it is going to be left hand friendly. Great job by QSP. They are one of my favorite knife companies. Now, some of you may or may not remember, but I picked up an Alton's a while back and I wanted to try them out, and I found out that they were an amazing company, and since then they've really exploded onto the knife scene, but this was before all of that, and this was one of the first knives I ever handled from Alton's. This is the G31 here. They're going to come in right around the $54 price point, and I fully believe that Kaiser or Vastid is the main OEM or OEMs for Alton's, which is a really good thing. So you can look at it as you're getting a product in essence from one of those companies. Now we are going to be looking at 3.3 inches of 14C 28N steel, drop point blade, and a nice black washed PVD coating. We have dual thumb studs for the deployment, a really nice sharpening choil. These do come in G10s and micartas and a wide range of different colors. I do like the red and black aesthetic of this one. Then we have really nice red G10 handles and back spacer, lanyard post back there in that back spacer, a deep carry clip. That's left-hand friendly, and that is a standard clip that you could exchange almost any standard top-bottom torque setup with this pocket clip, so that is good to know. Left-hand friendly. The crossbar lock is done very, very good. It is one of the best. It's one of the best crossbar locks out there that is not adjustable, okay? This is incredibly good action. Some of the best in the business. No doubt. I would put that up there and stake my name on it. This is some of the best crossbar lock action, which is why it leads me to Kaiser or Vastid, because those are two of the companies that have a stranglehold on the crossbar lock mechanism and really dialing it in. You'll have to let me know, what do you think of this Alton's G31 here? Now, I picked this knife up back in July of 2022. So we're talking almost, 3.5 years ago or so? Pretty close to 3.5 years ago. I love this knife, and I always have since the day that I received it. They're going to come in right around $53. The Migaron Voluona doesn't need any introduction, but just in case it does, that is the name of this knife, the Voluona. And these are like $53. If you're someone who likes a larger folding knife, this is definitely going to be up your alley. We're looking at 4 inches of 14C 28N steel here. This is a beast of a pocket knife. It comes in at like 9.1. Regardless, it is a monster folder. We do have a fuller and a rear flipper, and the D10 is tuned perfectly on this knife. Another reason I fell in love with it. The action soon became exactly what you see right here, almost right out of the box. Fantastic detent, really good closing action. That was 3 years ago from Migaron. Now we have really nice textured G10 handles here with a G10 backspacer and steel liners. Then to top this bad boy off, we have another milled titanium clip. AM8 and Migaron are sister companies, and that milled titanium clip is reversible for lefties. So an outstanding job right here from Migaron. They also chamfer and jimp the liner. It protrudes nicely. You can easily get to it and disengage the blade. Lockup is nice and strong. The design of the flipper is spot on, and I'm sure they've even refined these. I'm sure they've refined these since then. And if you like something more mid-size, but you like this design, they have the Voluona M out there as well. This is one we just need to talk about. This is a newer release, but it's a knife I've been carrying for, it's one of the knives I've been carrying for the last 2 weeks. You guys will soon see the one I've been primarily carrying here in a future video. But aside from that knife, this knife has been in my pocket, in my hand, nonstop for about the last 2 weeks. And this is the Tenable Fenreer. It is the new top liner lock edition. I look for Tenable and Concept to really put out a lot of different versions of the Fenreer and upcoming models with the top liner lock, guarantee it that we're going to see old models coming back to life through the Tenable line with the top liner lock. I think they should do a premium version with it as well. But they do have VG10 Damascus blades and Nitro V, so they have both, whichever you want, more performance-based or more aesthetic-based, they're going to have it. This is a great blade shape. It's more of a harpoon drop point, and it does have a very tactical aesthetic to it, but man, does it work good in a utility setting. It pokes and pierces well. It slices well. There's not a ton of edge there. Don't get me wrong, there is plenty. I wouldn't mind if this was a little bit bigger. I think an XL Fenreer has been in store, or should have been in store long ago. In my opinion, an XL would just be absolutely incredible. But this one has the aluminum handles, of course, steel liners with the button compression lock, and that does have a true detent in there, so you will get very satisfying action out of this knife because the detents will be tuned properly. You can see I can just get a ton of leverage, huge wind up on those thumb studs just because the detent is tuned perfectly on this knife. Internals are great, you know, and you could add a aftermarket clip. It is surface mounted, standard deep carry clip, and it is reversible. That's a way for them to keep the price low. And speaking of the price, the standard aluminum versions are about $68 in the Nitro V. If you want something with the VG10 Damascus and aluminum like this here, these are about $90. And then they do have other variations that are going to be even below the $68 price point with like G10. So, and they have G-Mascus. Those are down in the, you know, $60 price point. So they have lots of different versions of the new top liner lock Fenreer, plus they have crossbar lock versions, and they have button plunge lock versions of the Fenreer. So there's no shortage of different ones. And if you want a premium one, they also have those as well. I'll have links to all of that stuff down in the description. Let me know down in the comments which one of these knives interested you the most. Is there any knife that you're thinking about picking up here in the very near future? I look forward to hearing from you. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button. If you enjoyed knife and EDC content, make sure you're subscribed. I'll pop up a couple of new videos. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day. Thank you all again for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.